G'day folks, Mad Aussie here, and I have come across another worrisome article. This one is from theguardian.com, Australian News. It is by Christopher Naus. The article is dated Monday 1st of February 2021. The article is titled, Australia's weak donation laws allowed $1 billion in dark money to go to political parties over 2 decades. And goes on to say, Australia's weak donation laws are allowing political parties to hide the origins of $1 billion in income and giving mega donors the ability to exert disproportionate influence over the system, new analysis suggests. The Australian Electoral Commission will on Monday release the latest tranche of donations data for the 2019-2020 financial year, which will show the largesse shown to parties in the wake of the last federal election. Ahead of the data's release, the Centre for Public Integrity released an analysis estimating the volume of dark money income with an unknown source given to the parties in the past 20 years. It finds about 35% of contributions, or about $1 billion, came from unknown sources in the 2 decades since 1999. The opaqueness of the system is allowed by Australia's weak disclosure threshold, which currently allows the source of donations below $14,300 to be hidden from public view, even if a single donor splits up a large donation into multiple installments below that amount. The analysis also finds 5 donors have contributed 25% of all money given to political parties since 1999. Those donors are Clive Palmer's Mineralogy, which made 40 donations worth $101.1 million, including huge contributions in the lead up to the last election. The next biggest donor was the conservative funding vehicle, the Cormac Foundation, which made 39 donations worth $61.4 million, mostly to the Liberals, but also to Family First and other Conservative parties. Labor funding vehicles, ALP Holdings and John Curtin House, were the next largest donors, with 145 donations worth $56.8 million and 50 donations worth of $47.6 million retrospectively. The Shop, Distributive and Allied Employees Association was the 5th biggest donor over the 2 decades, giving 318 donations worth $31.2 million. The federal system has no cap on donations from individual donors. That contrasts poorly with Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria, which all cap donations at varying levels. It's not the only area where the federal system trails behind the states. Queensland discloses donations to the public in close to real time, and all other states and territories make disclosures within 1 or 3 weeks during election periods. Federally, the public is forced to wait more than a year in some cases to find out who has bankrolled the various parties. The delay often robs voters of the information prior to casting their votes. Donations made in the lead up to the May 2019 election, for example, were not disclosed until February 2020. The Commonwealth Government has the weakest political finance laws in the country, the analysis says. The enormous gaps in Australia's regulatory framework make it easy for wealthy companies and industries to use money to influence decision makers. Lax disclosure rules mean that these donations can often be made while avoiding scrutiny. The Greens plan to use the release of the donations data to announce a new bill to ban those bidding for government work from donating. Those seeking environmental approvals would also be banned. Larissa Waters, the party's Senate leader and democracy spokeswoman, said the reform was modest and there was no legitimate reason for the major parties not to support it. Surely, not even the big parties could stand in the way of such a common-sense reform that would begin the process of cleaning up politics and removing the influence of big money from decision-making, Waters said. Enforcement of the laws, weak though they are, is also a problem. In September, the Auditor General found that AEC was not doing enough to punish political donors that break the rules and was failing to ensure donors were providing accurate and complete financial information. It found that AEC, in the preceding 4 years, had failed to obtain key records from some donors, including 75 annual returns, which detail a donor's contribution in any given financial year. Donors were being allowed to submit huge volumes of records late, and in some cases by more than a month, and the AEC was doing little to check that the information it does receive is accurate and complete, the audit found. The Center for Public Integrity Director, Professor Ju Cheong Tam, said that the federal disclosure scheme was shrouded in secrecy, that the most significant level of government has the weakest political finance laws as a grave weakness of Australian democracy, Tam said. So there you go, $1 billion in black money over a 20-year period gone to our federal political parties. And I'll leave you guys to drop a comment down below as to what you think. The article will be linked in the description below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.